Perched high above the city of Baltimore, Maryland, from Magooby's Joke House, comes the tale of 5 brave adventurers and their intrepid audiomancer on a journey wrought with magic, mayhem, and dick jokes. For this is Laugh Finder.
Welcome to Laugh Finder!
Hey guys, turn that up a little bit, Ben. We barely heard any. Oh, there we go. There we go. Hey guys, welcome to Laugh Finder Season 4.
Oh my God, how did that happen?
We're doing it, and welcome to our newest viewers on our YouTube channel. Hi guys.
Hey, what's up, YouTube?
So we are Laugh Finder. We are Baltimore's premier Paizo-based comedy podcast. I'm comedian Tommy Simbazo.
Oh, hi, Tommy.
And I'll be playing Arcane, the living construct. I steal faces with my monkey familiar, Natty Bobo.
For people who aren't familiar with what a living construct is, explain what that means.
Basically, I'm a fancy Iron Man suit that was brought to life by magic.
And what do listeners need to know about your personality if they don't remember Season 2?
It's like childlike wonder, but I steal body parts from our dead. I have a dick in my bag of holding. Lots of faces. I'm very jealous about faces because I don't have a face. It's just a blank slate. So I've been stealing faces, and I use my leather working to taxidermy said faces, and then I wear them.
He's so good at poker.
Hey, what's your favorite Billy Idol song?
What? Eyes Without a Face?
Oh, it's Moni Moni.
Oh,
You're like a giant, sadistic, innocent man-child.
How dare you? How dare you? And ladies and gentlemen, this week's guest. Now I don't know you well enough to give you a proper introduction.
I know.
But
We've known
ladies,
each other for over a decade.
I know you do karate.
Yeah, yes.
And he is the GM for the new podcast / live show, Whose Role? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Eric Poach. Yeah. Eric, move that mic down a little bit so that people can, if you aim it up a little.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Then people can see your face.
Oh, there we go.
It's very. So, Eric, tell me about yourself.
Oh shit. I do acty things.
Okay. Are you with the Bros, Baltimore Rock Opera
Yes.
Society?
Yes.
Okay.
Do a lot of shows with the Bros. I play a lot of Dungeons and/or Dragons. Like you said, I do my show Whose Role with Phil Doculo, Danielle Robinette, Derek Von Braun.
And that's a show in front of a live audience.
Yes, yeah. So we play D&D in front of a live audience, and all of the weapons, spells, monsters, treasure, everything is created by audience suggestion. A couple of suggestions have included dick hydras.
We're stealing that.
Hey, write that down.
We'll call them Dydras.
Dorian's taking notes.
Yeah. We have reverse centaurs. Last adventure, we fought men's rights activists.
Eric played an incel last game.
Yeah. Maybe we could work my character in as a crossover. I feel like I could lead the evil forces of incel against.
Yes. Rolled a red
Now, are
pill.
you actually using D&D rule set?
Fuck no.
Okay.
We just kind of make it up. We have like these giant foam D20s, so anytime we want to do anything, we just hurl them at the audience, and they tell us what it comes up.
Did you make the foam D20s?
Phil made the D20s.
They are beautiful. I wish you had brought one.
I know.
Because I asked you to bring one.
You asked me to bring one, but I wasn't going to Phil's house. God.
But they're actually they're beautiful.
Yeah.
They're very well made. I doubt that they're balanced for probability, but they are great. So how long have you guys been doing Whose Role?
We've been doing Whose Role. This last year was our 5th year doing it. We've been doing it for 5 years at MagFest. We do it. We got our start there, and now we're actually doing monthly shows at the Wind Up Space. Our next one's on March 10th.
Yeah, MagFest. You guys, that whole room.
Yeah, it is a huge fucking crowd.
Maybe
People
like
love
500 people come to see this thing.
It's mind-boggling.
And you guys all perform in costume.
Yeah. They all wear costumes. I wear a vest. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, like a DM should.
Yeah.
Dorian.
I literally don't own a vest. I own so many dresses, but not one vest.
Then you need a mini skirt.
Poach.
Always
As a,
the bridesmaid, never the groom.
As a game master, I imagine you have a lot you can commiserate with in as far as Dorian is concerned. He's our game master, and he has to deal with us every week.
Yeah, he has
What
nothing
are
but
your
my
big headaches as a game master?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, it's just, they always want to split the fucking party. They always want to go and do things. I give them all these beautiful plot hooks. I have narratives. I have grand, sweeping adventures, and now they just want to go.
Ooh, what's that blue bird doing?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we had we've had our share of that.
Yeah.
They never let us reanimate those dead children.
Yeah.
The suicide
No matter what
bombers.
character they're playing, the player is chaotic neutral.
No, I had a lawful good character explain to me a couple years ago why allowing a mansion full of children to burn to the ground was perfectly in line with his
This
God.
all checks
No,
out.
that's how we play the game.
Who was that man? Santa Claus?
You're getting fire for Christmas.
We tried to fly a spaceship into a giant building
Yeah.
last season.
From space, we tried to do a 9/11 on.
We had already declared jihad on them. It was fitting.
Yeah, you did. Actually.
One of us definitely declared a jihad.
And we were going to a couple seasons ago. We were going to animate. We were going to take dead children, fill them full of explosives, and then animate dead on them and make them go to this terrorist organization.
Checks out.
We
Checks
can
out.
detonate these children.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't do it. They're like, that's evil, guys. And we're like, no, that's not. That's just pragmatism. Also, morality is fluid.
Yeah. It's a victimless crime, like punching someone in the dark.
Yeah, but actually, you know what? It would be wasteful to not use these dead children.
Absolutely.
Tommy, I feel like maybe you ought to make some sort of grand pronouncement to listeners that we've returned here to our original roots for this new season.
Well, yeah, we've our first 2 seasons were Pathfinder. Third season we switched to Starfinder, and now we're back to Pathfinder to pick up right where we left off, following the adventures of the Odd Company. Which, if you're watching on YouTube, you can go back and listen. There's 3 seasons of bullshit you can listen to.
Yeah, get into it now.
You can hear the episodes where Aaron passed out on someone's floor of their basement from drinking while recording a podcast.
You've heard me succumb to and then recover from my alcoholism.
Yeah, no, it's a
Which,
real
by the
journey.
way, our guest who was there on that episode thought it was so fun that now we're allowed to record at his business.
There was something good that came out of that.
Yeah, I'd also like to point out that Aaron is only the second person to have fallen asleep in the middle of the podcast.
Yeah.
That is true.
But yours wasn't boinking related.
No. That's Jesus.
Yeah, so Poach, we did have a guest once fall asleep behind the microphone, so it's a pretty low bar when you're a guest on Laugh On.
Yeah.
You're good to go.
We're setting you up for success here.
So what gave you the idea to do a improv based role playing game at MagFest?
So I work for a defense contractor who will not go named, and it is one of the most soul-wrenchingly...
Is it Schmock Schmied Schmartin?
Schmorflip Schramen.
Lark Industries.
So as I'm sitting in my cube for like 9 hours a day staring at a computer monitor, I just kind of had the idea. I was like, well, what the fuck if?
Yeah.
What if?
Yeah.
And my fellow coworker, my fellow worker drone, I told him about the idea. Ben, he's the one at all our shows. He's out in the audience.
Yes,
like,
yes,
he
you have a
suggestions.
runner.
Yeah. And we just kind of threw it together, and I pitched it to some bros, and then they were like, yeah, fuck it, let's do a thing. And we asked MagFest, like, can we pretty please do this show? We have not prepared anything. And they let us do it.
Nice.
And it's been, and how many of them have you done so far?
This last year was our 5th year.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Our fifth show at MagFest, and then our 6th show was our first show at the Wind Up Space this year. Last
And they
month.
have musical accompaniment. They have a keyboardist.
Yes, Erica.
Hey,
Erica
it's
Patoka.
oh my god, she's amazingly
She-
talented.
She's carrying the goddamn show.
She's much like our Ben Hancock.
Yeah.
So you guys put her in
So-
a cage?
So, Poach, where can people find all the information about this if they want to come to a future show?
Oh, hell yeah. We just launched our website, www.whosroll.com. You can also search for us on Facebook for Whose Roll Is It Anyway? And we have a Twitter that we don't use.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. And you can find us there. And see
Drew
all our-
Carey's on the next season, so guys, check it out.
Greg Poops.
Yeah.
Proops.
I'm waiting for the cease and desist letter.
He'll do anything.
Never mind. It's not a very interesting story.
Cool. Thanks, Brian.
Hey, that's why I'm the best of the biz.
Pressure off me, Brian.
But you guys, you want to get into it? You want to? So, ladies and gentlemen, sitting next to Eric Poach is another Eric.
Ooh.
Now, this one, he's an actor, a comedian, a professional nudist. Well, not in this the 90s when you're not getting nude.
We'll see. We'll see about that. I don't take directions very well.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Eric Woodworth.
Yeah.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
What does that music portend?
That's pertaining to my new character joining the Odd Company very soon. You're going to learn about him. I'll probably just tell you my name when I'm introduced into this season. But let's just say there's a lot of surprises and hard times ahead of the Odd Company coming up. But yeah, I'm Eric Woodworth. Thank you guys very much, all our listeners. It was funny. We're recording this actually in my basement again because we got
As is tradition for D&D.
Yeah. It feels right. It feels right.
You'll see. There'll be a switch. We will move. There's probably going to be 4 episodes, and then we're going to move to Magooby's Joke House.
Yeah,
Nice.
but my wife, who generally when I bring over comedian friends, she's a little apprehensive. I'm good friends with, obviously, Tommy and I are in Die Laughing Productions where we do these murder mysteries. So my wife knows the Joe Robinson, Rob Mayer, and all those gang. And she commented about us here tonight, and she goes, you know, Eric's bringing his friends over, and I don't understand what they're doing in the basement. But these friends are really nice. She was just like, not that I don't like Joe and everybody, but they're mean sometimes. And all of your friends are very kind to me. So you're my nice friends.
Yes,
They're
we try. We try very hard.
When I go out to murder mysteries, she's going to say, why don't you hang out with those nice Laugh Finder boys?
The only woman to have ever said that.
We just haven't worn out our welcome yet.
Yeah. So,
Give her some time.
Yeah.
We've ruined one marriage.
Sure.
Anyway.
And speaking of cucking the bride, sitting next to me, ladies and
real.
gentlemen, actor, comedian, writer, Mr. Brian Preston. Zoom, zoom, boom, boom, just shake a your rump. Just shake a your rump.
Oh, wow.
You don't get to say that this season.
Maybe that's how Holy John always talks. Oh, wow. Look, people fucking loved Sobek Fun Murder.
I think you should.
dude, Brian is our most recognized person.
Yeah, he got recognized at KatsuCon.
Yeah, people are just when we ever install, they're like, "Hey, it's Sobek Fun Murder," and now I'm gonna be. They're like,
They
"Hey,
hear
are
it-
you Holy John?" And I'll be like, "Yes."
People
Need a new
I've-
thing like, geez.
I've witnessed
How
it.
rude.
I've witnessed it on 2 occasions at KatsuCon, and when he came to my comedy recording, some guy that I know named Jeff Hancock, he's a super listener of
Shout
my
out.
podcast, Quality Time. He comes over and he just hears me and Brian talking. He goes, "Wait a minute, you're Sobek Fun Murder," and he goes, "Oh wow!" He goes, he like lost his mind. Oh god, it was
So
beautiful.
I guess I'm gonna find a new
Yeah, you
Holy
gotta
John
find-
catchphrase.
Maybe I.
Okay, that's. I'm not. All right, that's. You know what?
Yeah,
That's, I haven't
Alpha
thought of
5.
anything better than I yet. I'm just gonna deadpan it. I'd be like, I. Shit. Actually, I'm kind of in love with that. So, get ready for that, everybody. Just get ready for that. I'll be playing Holy John. I'm a Tiefling Inquisitor. I.
And sitting next to Brian, the man whose mind was blown at KatsuCon that it wasn't full of hentai porn. Ladies and gentlemen, what can I say about him? He is the audio rock god at WYPR, Mr. Aaron Hagen.
Hey, thank you very much, everybody. Pleased to be back. Finally reprising my original Laugh Finder role, that of now 9th level cleric.
I forgot.
a worshiper and evangelist of the god of void and chaos, Azathoth, for whom I encourage you to accept as your personal Lord and Savior.
Any Azathoth heads out there?
Yeah. I heard Azathoth is opening up for Gwar this year. That's great.
It is I, your cleric, Wilhelm Wardicus, a man who travels time and space and planar dimensions and has, at the present time, joined the Odd Company.
And whose death will one day start Pathfinder World War I.
Is he Archduke Ferdinand?
As Wilhelm Wardicus, this season I am going to try my darndest not to break into my old accent from Proteus. It's going to be very hard, just like my friend Sobek Fun Murder has to retire. Oh, wow. It's going to be hard for me to retire my Vinnie Barbarino accent.
Hey, it's me.
Poach, and we were doing Starfinder, and he was a pleasure droid from Absalom Station called Proteus PVR BLZR.
That's good.
So now you may just
now I'm Wilhelm Wardicus. You remember if you were a listener
now he only
to,
pleasures children.
I know my
scripture.
Just to remind you of Wilhelm Wardicus, a little bit of his backstory from season 2. He's not about he's a much different character than your
Jeopardy
your pleasure droid.
Ben's never been to church. It's a game show. Who wants salvation?
Wilhelm Wardicus is much more of like a sort of like a drug warrior, kind of like a late career Jim Morrison character who's got this haunted sort of 1,000-mile stare because of all the drugs he's done. And he actually has like transported himself through time and space from his original life as the drummer from Black Sabbath.
Give me that drop one more.
Oh, wait,
Give me that drop. And Wilhelm steps into the plate. He's looking really good. Ooh, green aura seems to be shooting from his fingertips right now. He's ready to cast some demon spells. Let's get excited here. Ooh, swing and a miss.
Thank you.
Okay, there's nothing more boring than baseball. Ladies and gentlemen, the man putting the sounds into your fucking head holes. Sitting at the kiddie table of power, Mr. Ben Ben's the only one that has a drop except for air. And sitting across from me, speaking of the only drop, actor, comedian, improviser, writer, Mr. Dorian Gray.
Hello, my name is Dorian Gray. I am your GM, your antagonist and friend. And why don't we get this started?
Previously on Laugh-Finder.
There is no...
Nothing happened. We're at the beginning of a new season.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So,
Oh, good. Cause
oh,
Ben had
actually, can you start the Star Trek music again? All right. So, to recap from last season, there was a human supremacist by the name of Elder Brenmeyer whose defeat culminated in a climactic battle. Some things have happened since then. The longtime friend and proprietor and backer of the Odd Company, known as Duke Marigold,
Yes.
has been assassinated.
What? Duke Marigold, the clothes horse?
Yes. Your friend has been assassinated. It has been many months since then.
we didn't bother to investigate.
Well, no one knows anything. There was literally he died and his assassin sort of vanished without a trace.
You know what? I bet he got 2 Nigerians to do it and say they were Elder Brenmeyer.
He was going to get fired from the podcast.
Yeah, he wanted
But his niece, Livonia Marigold, has been
That's a made-up name.
yes, it very much is.
I have students named Livonia. Shut up.
But she has been holding things together as his successor. She is bright. She has potential, but she's young and she's bookish. Also, a farmer on the outskirts of Red Point was tending to his... Okay, he was taking a piss at night when he saw a column of gold light appear in the distance just a couple miles away. He went to investigate and he saw what looks like this golden bubble of magic. He couldn't penetrate it, he couldn't see beyond it, but all he knew was that it was expanding. And this is worrying the citizens of Red Point very much. And where you are is a meeting, a public meeting with Livonia, and this is where we start. All right. So, when we begin our campaign, the Odd Company, under Livonia's plea, has been asked to attend a meeting, a group of people who are very, very much concerned about this golden column of magic that fell from the sky and sort of expanded. And they've tried everything. They've shot arrows at it. They've shot spells at it. They can't seem to penetrate it. And it just slowly slowly starts to expand.
Have you tried licking it?
It didn't work. It seems to not necessarily push things out of the way. It seems to envelop them. So if there's a tree on one side of it, the next day the tree is on the other side of it, and you can't touch it.
Can you see through this bubble?
A couple feet you can.
Okay.
But not beyond that. It's just a golden mist.
Has anybody tried to put their hand into the bubble?
Oh, the hand.
They have.
What happens?
It treats it like a solid object. They can't.
Oh, okay.
What
but
if they
as
stood
the bubble expands, it can sort of consume things beyond its own
Yes.
Radius.
And you asked?
But like, what if someone was standing still at the edge of it? Would it slowly start to creep on them? Or
No,
would...
it pushes them out.
Oh.
It seems to only do that with sentient creatures. This includes small things like bugs and birds, and so the edge of it has sort of pushed these things out.
It's just covered in
great.
bugs and birds.
How far away
Great.
is
Pathfinder's getting gentrified.
How far away is this magical golden bubble?
Right now, the magical golden bubble is about 8 miles outside of Red Point. There are questions, some concerned townspeople, some hoity-toity nobles, some familiar faces. Nora Knox.
Remind
Is there.
listeners who Nora Knox is.
Nora Knox is a sort of wheeler-dealer, unscrupulous businesswoman. That if you remember, there were a group of bandits that were terrorizing the countryside, and she dealt with them by hiring them to kill you all.
Yeah.
And then,
Knowing full well that you would slaughter them.
Yeah, we did.
yeah.
She's there as the sort of business consultant, and she just briefly touches on what this could mean for trade if the bubble starts to encompass the road. Her concern is that her sources tell her that the bubble isn't just a radius, that the bubble seems to be reaching specifically in Red Point's direction.
What her sources tell her? What do you mean by what sources are those?
Her network of people.
Hey, for those just listening to the audio, Dorian made air quotes when he said people.
Interesting.
Ben, I'll need a sound effect.
Just go boing boing.
Who
Aye,
is
aye,
this?
aye.
I say
You
to
son
Nora
of a
Knox,
bitch! You fucking! I didn't even get to say it yet. God damn it! God damn! Well, we're gonna find a new catchphrase. You ruined it, Dusty Loads.
Dusty load.
I say
Please
to
go
Nora
tell me the
Knox,
two characters.
who are your who's giving you counsel about the nature of this magic bubble?
He says, I cannot really reveal my sources. They work best when they're anonymous, but it's no secret that she employs a network of spies and scouts and things in the interest of her business, most of which is above ground.
Are there any magical inscriptions on the bubble? Can we read any sort of runes or symbols?
She says, you're probably more knowledgeable than anybody I sent there. You'd have to see the bubble yourself.
I'd like to see the bubble.
They
What do you say, Odd Company? Should we take a walk to this bubble?
Aye, aye,
See
aye.
it for our own eyes?
Okay.
Beforehand, though,
Beforehand.
you notice that way in the back of this meeting is a group of well-armed men and women. They all wear a crest that's
Open carry?
a silver rhinoceros.
Okay. Those aren't extinct there.
Livonia says that she has pressing business that she wants to talk to the Odd Company about. So we're going to adjourn the meeting if there's nothing else. And the leader of this group stands up. He's very, very tall. He looks like he's in his late 40s. He has fancy armor that is, quite honestly, fucked up. Looks like it has dings and scratches and burn marks. He's a handsome man.
He's a grunge knight.
A damn crust night.
He's a handsome man, but his face has all these scars and lacerations from old battles.
It's sealed.
Like a 2004 Prius.
I've been kissed by a rose on the wind.
Let's see. He says, one last thing. Allow me to introduce myself.
Informer.
My name is
I'm with Eric on this one.
He says,
My name is Humpty, pronounced with an umpty.
see, this is
Oh,
what I have
ladies,
to deal with.
how I'd like to funk thee.
Did we say it looks like Humpty?
Yeah, no, it's me. Yeah, no, it's me. and
He
Eric on
says,
this one.
my name is Volo Brenmeyer.
Oh, Brenmeyer, you say?
He says, High Priest of Gorum and head of the Charging Storm Mercenary Company. He says, the man you knew as Elder Brenmeyer was my brother.
Oh,
I heard that
Sorry about your loss.
he had passed,
yeah.
and
Yep, he sure
Natural
dead.
causes.
Sure is dead.
and I wanted to pay my respects as soon as I was able. I was away on a campaign.
Yeah. AIDS.
Is
He
anybody
waged-
else hear like a bug whacker crackling in the back, or is that just my headphone?
It's like the fireplace.
It's the fireplace.
Oh, I see. That's the soundscape.
And he says,
Aaron's not lucid anymore.
Everybody keep fucking
I
with them
smell
and pretend we
toast.
don't hear it.
he says, he waged open war against you all, which was Gorham's will.
Cool.
Does anyone have knowledge religion?
You know the fuck I do.
All right, let's see you roll it.
Okay, here we go. The first roll of the game.
17.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not horrible.
Gorham is the chaotic neutral god of war and violence.
Okay.
Oh, well, actually, man, I think Gorham should be on our side.
It's pretty fucking metal, if you ask
He
me.
says he waged open war on you, which was Gorham's will.
Yeah.
You slaughtered him in battle.
Which
Also Gorham's will.
yeah,
Yeah.
Some would say it was Azathoth's
And,
will,
and
but
then we
let's
just
not split hairs.
He says-
then we just left his body there. No one did
And then-
anything to it.
I went to pay my respects to find that his body was missing.
Oh.
Gorham's will,
Yeah.
not yours, not mine.
Yeah.
I'm a high cleric of Gorham, and I can tell you that it is not in his tenets.
Man,
Yeah,
you know.
well, I mean, bodies get misplaced all the time.
Hey,
Oh, God, this is still in
I whispered to the guys, remind me what happened to his body?
He says,
What did we do to his body?
I don't know if this happened in space, though. I think someone may have titty fucked it.
he says, this act of defilement will not go unresolved.
Yeah.
Those of you who know me know that my tactics can be a bit heavy-handed, but
Cool.
Yeah.
my brother loved this city, and so
Yeah.
I've recruited a hand far more delicate than mine.
Yeah.
Please stand. You see
It's Gumbo's will.
a bookish
Whatever he said.
a bookish
things.
woman dressed all in black
You
with
love the city
sort
and
of
Thai boys.
wire-rimmed spectacles, and she says, "Hello, my name is Stephanie Dead. That is pronounced D-E-H-D.
Hello.
This is like that. This is like that one episode when Urkel played his female cousin who was in love with Eddie.
This could be Stefano Dead's great grandmother
Yeah.
from before the gap.
Or Myrtle
Yeah.
Urkel.
And says,
Merkel.
I understand that you all have a lot on your plate with this golden bubble. So any cooperation that you give me or the many, many networks of my agents that I have pouring through Red Point right now, to resolve this will be, that would be appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy to oblige.
Yep.
Viz dead.
Volo, with that, he says, I understand you have more important things. I just wanted to be upfront about my tactics and what I plan to do here.
Yeah.
He says, we all want this resolved as quickly as possible, but my patience is not without end.
Well, thanks for putting your vengeance on hold while we take care of this magic bubble.
Livonia stands up and she says, I want to make something very clear before you go. I know that you're a mercenary company. I have my own army, and I will expect anyone that you employ to obey any laws of Red Point the same as anyone else.
Will there
And
be drug testing?
This predates drug testing
Okay, good.
by like
My
centuries.
monkey Bobo taps on Wilhelm's shoulder and shows him a vial of monkey pill, and then makes the kids take oxygen.
Not a problem.
He says, with that, he and some of his closest allies, one particularly disturbing young man who's missing one arm, he looks even more messed up than Volo. They all stand and they leave.
I say to them, #Volo.
I don't know. What is he talking about?
I don't even know. Even if I did know what he was talking about, I have no idea what he's talking about.
Well, it's the Spanish vosotros could also be for only living once. So anyway,
YOLO
So what do you say we go investigate this menacing magic bubble?
Okay.
Company.
Well, Livonia, she says a word. This matters. This pertains to this.
Oh, okay.
We have a similar but more pressing concern. A group of would you like to tell them? And there's this old sort of town guard who's like smoking a cigarette. And no
cool.
sooner has he
He's vaping.
no sooner
guns now.
as he begins to speak, one of your company goes through a horrifying transformation as limbs get longer and shorten, hues begin to change, odd places begin to bulge and become concave, and then Ren Talshu has taken yet another form.
aye.
Is this the part where I describe my
Yes.
horrifying
Yes.
form? Before you see a child who looks like a 5-foot-tall version of Vigo the Carpathian. And he introduces himself. He says, I am Tomothy, the Mad Boy King. I represent the Child Kingdom. I am in self-imposed exile. I wish to stop the madness of this bubble.
You have to get away 500 feet away, Wilhelm.
We don't get paid to babysit.
Livonia
And
says,
this kid, and I have to be clear, this kid is just like jack fucking ripped.
Baby Hercules.
Triangle.
My armor's tight.
Mad Child King, what is your name?
My name is Tomothy.
Tomothy.
I do
Livonia
that too.
and the guard are just staring. And Livonia says, I heard about this, but I will never get used to that.
Tomothy, what's your workout routine?
Oh, you know, eat clean, creatine supplements,
Orc steaks.
never skip leg day.
How do you feel about your freaks and peaks?
Intermittent fasting.
And says, so the town guard says, yeah, well, anyway, so there's these kobolds. that usually about 5 miles out, they live underground. But since this bubble appeared, they think it's a sign from Kartulmak, which, if you don't know, is the kobold deity who lives on the demonic plane of Avernus.
Duh.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I have heard of such.
If I had a nickel for every time.
these kobolds, since they live under where the bubble is, they think it's a sign from their deity to expand their territory. So usually, we go. They act up every couple of years. We go down there, we kick the crap out of them, and remind them while they're down there and we're up here. But the usual dispatchment of guards I sent were slaughtered almost to a man.
Wait, hold on. What color are these kobolds?
I don't know. They different colors. They got scales, you know.
Well, scale lives matter.
You don't believe that.
So are you old man, put down your cigarette for a minute and listen to me. Are you trying to say that these kobolds are stronger than your average kobold? Have they been given some kind of power by the magic bubble, or what?
I don't know what
or did you
happened.
just send a terrible bunch of guards after them?
Usually the guards can do it well enough, but they hit this merchant caravan, and I don't know. Ever since then, anybody I send down there is getting dealt with. The last guy died in my arms, riddled with holes.
Holes.
Yeah.
What's so funny?
Nothing. Just
It's
your
too-
dead
I wonder.
friend.
I wonder what it's worth to you to sign the Odd Company up to take care of this problem for you.
I mean, you talk to the gold people. She just brought me here to tell what the situation is.
The gold people.
Yeah, you know, the people that, the limp-wristed, what do you call them?
Nobles.
The what's now?
What are they called now?
Nobles.
Oh, okay.
No
I thought they were
noble.
going to
No noble.
take a sharp left turn.
Hey, you have pretty eyes, Holy John. No noble.
So it sounds like the town might have an interest in the Odd Company going and taking care of these kobolds.
Okay, yeah,
Do we
fuck it.
do we want to try to leverage our services for some cashola?
Well, I've been trapped. I mean, not trapped. I've been working in that magic shop the past couple years.
Yeah.
Be nice to stretch my
Oh,
legs.
yeah. Before we proceed, yes, why don't everyone, I will get to you in a second. Why don't the regular members of the Odd Company tell us what they've been doing since before this took place, since the death of Elder Brenmeyer?
Okay. Now, guys, I have to be totally blunt with you guys. So you remember how Elder Brenmeyer turned into a big demon thing, and then we killed him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what if one of us went and dug up his body and animated that skeleton, and it's now their minion waiting outside of town? I mean, that would be cool, right?
Nothing could go wrong with that idea.
Honestly, Arcane, it's the coolest fucking thing I've ever heard. It's so goddamn cool, but we have to, as always, keep it a secret between us.
Okay, all right. Speaking of secrets, come here, boy. Do you want to pet my monkey?
We've been over this. That's Sandy Levine's dick.
What about Holy John?
Oh, yeah, I was at Inquisitor camp in Canada, and I found a really cool girlfriend, but she's a model there, so she can't come here because she doesn't want to get swarmed and stuff. So that hardly seems appropriate. I don't know why Holy John, the character, can hear that, but so inquisiting and shit.
Just getting in touch with my fanaticism.
Solving mysteries and being the fiery sort of religious righteousness, but in a totally not jihad way.
All right, and what about Wilhelm?
Well, I took my free time to team up with another cleric. The two of us tucked our shirts in, got a couple of bicycles, and rode around all the towns near Red Point, going door to door, knocking on doors and spreading the gospel of Azathoth.
Did people blow out their torches and hide behind their rock
We have some
couches?
literature we pass out. We generally talk about, have you accepted Azathoth as your personal Lord and Savior? Are you aware that the entire universe is but potentially a nightmare of this god Azathoth, and if and when he awakes from that nightmare, we'll all blink out of existence? It's been going okay.
Sounds like you're doing the Lord's work.
He says, Livonia says, well, I don't know what happened to your feathered friend, but I...
You mean Sedina Goku?
the most powerful chicken in the planet. But
Heart attack.
she says, I've felt the need to enlist another hero to investigate this. Could you introduce yourself?
Well, welcome. Hey, what's going on, Daddy? What you see before you is a gentleman who walks into the room. He's clad completely in black and pink, a long trench coat, a duster, if you will. He kind of looks like a cowboy version of Bret Hart, if you will.
Why doesn't he sound like Bret Hart?
But he doesn't sound like Bret Hart, Daddy. He walks in and he goes, "Hey, what's going on, boys? My name is Big Slee, and I've been hired by your fair company to join you in your quest about this goddamn bubble."
Big Slee?
Yeah. I'm a bit of a gambler, a bit of a fun seeker, but I have certain skills that my employer has found rather valuable that, it looks like I'm going to be tagging along with y'all boys.
Do you play the fucking Shima-san?
I'm not familiar with the tune, Daddy,
Okay, good.
but,
That's good. We're good.
but I know a lot of things about a lot of places.
Big Slee, welcome to the Odd Company. You may know I'm a cleric. Arcane here is a living construct, a
Howdy.
wielder of magic.
He gives you finger guns. Pew, pew.
Pew, pew.
Holy John here is a mighty warrior in his own regard.
I shake bones.
You say you have a special skill of your own. What do you bring to the party?
Well, he reaches into like his duster coat and he pulls out this fucking sweet ass 6-shooter. He starts spinning it like,
What is that?
What the fuck?
A what shooter?
I'm a bit I dangle with the technology a little bit,
You
Daddy.
dangle with
I dangle with it. That's what I call.
What sort of rolling penis is that?
I'm a trained gunslinger. You familiar with the gunslinger?
The fucker.
Eastern
That's
art.
some kind of a spell wand?
No,
The fuck is
Betty.
a gun?
It's a straight.
I am compelled to show it to all my friends.
Just consider it a little boomstick that has 6 little friends that follow one after another and put down my enemies one by one.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
I don't know what half those words meant.
Put it like this: when this comes out, things get hard, Daddy.
That is incredibly phallic.
Wow.
Is that my dick?
It could be.
I mean, you have to trust Livonia.
right.
Livonia Marigold never leads us astray. So, I mean, Big Slee, welcome to the crew.
Well, I feel like I know your boys already, and I feel like we're gonna win the tag team titles just by mere. We're gonna take down the Freebirds. Is one of my side missions I'd like to take us on, if that's okay.
No more birds.
Your accent, it's a South Red Point accent?
Yeah, I'm from the deep South, Daddy, way down past Red Point.
I thought you had suffered a stroke. Could you please put both arms in the air?
He's from the Red Point Delta, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm a bit of a heavy set gentleman. I like to live life, and he pulls out his little flask and he goes, kicks back a little drink like that. Ooh, all right, where we questing today, boys?
All right, so
I like this guy's style.
Yeah, no.
So your next move is up to you all. As you leave the grounds, everyone, like the town, is abuzz talking about how Volo Brenmeyer is back and talking about this golden bubble. There are people with ludicrous theories that it's. I know what it is. It's one of them gold puddings. It's like, there's no. What the fuck are you talking about? There's no such thing as a gold pudding. No, it is. It's right there. All you gotta do.
I'd like to interrupt them quickly. Technically, that's a flan. It's a common misconception that I keep walking.
He's like, was
Okay.
was that just was that Holy John from the Odd Company that just came by
The
and
man
corrected
loses
me on what a
dessert.
pudding is?
It's again. If it's gold, it's a flan. Sorry.
I mean, I always found it rather improper just to correct people for no reason, Holy John. Maybe keep it to yourself, Daddy.
Maybe it's a
inquisitor.
pudding, maybe it's a jello, maybe it's an egg custard.
Some people say potato, some people say potato. You know what I mean?
Maybe he was talking about the monster, like a pudding and ooze.
I was. Forget it.
That's what they were talking about.
Oh, okay.
So we've got a couple of issues on the horizon here. One is this tribe of kobolds that's been emboldened, come up from their subterranean holes in the ground to cause trouble and flex on us. And beyond them is a rooster. A rooster that I hear crowing in the distance. And beyond that rooster...
I know for a fact all chickens were banned from this town. We have a letter that says so.
Beyond the mythical rooster is this golden bubble of magic that's existentially threatening Red Point. I say first, we see what it's worth to the town officials for us to go take care of these kobolds.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
The Odd Company.
You fucking know it.
Nice to meet you.
Hello, stranger. How you doing?
My name's Remy. Hey, I was wondering. I'm on a mission here. Let me ask you something. You defeated Elder Brenmeyer.
Yep, and then that's it.
I'm
Never
with
did anything
Stephanie
else.
Dead. You were his greatest foe.
Well, you know.
Well,
Yeah.
Some
and
might say his nemesis.
Some might
I don't
say,
like to take all the credit, but all right.
Some may say his reanimator.
So-
What?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it makes sense when something like this happens to go to the people that you know were his enemy. So I just wanted to ask, do you know anything about what happened to Elder Brenmeyer's body?
He's probably being butt fucked.
Never even met the gentleman.
I mean,
Have no idea.
Up top, butt fuck.
You know what? Actually, he did have a lot of enemies in the non-human and also just probably in the necrophiliac community as well. I probably just assuming that.
Probably had a sweet ass.
So the party line is that y'all don't know what happened, right?
He's probably been torn limb from limb by an angry mob.
Now, if anyone has a flan, I'd just like to punch it just so I can recreate the sound of what's probably happening to his corpse as we speak.
Oh no!
Oh, wait. You mean like this? And I'll use ghostly sound? like this?
Yeah, exactly like that. Probably with some girl like just sort of in there.
Oh, he seems to like it.
So, who exactly is asking, if I may inquire?
Oh, I'm an agent of Stephanie Dead, and she has been tasked with investigating the disappearance of Elder Brenmeyer's body.
I mean, they left the skin.
No collusion.
Huh?
No collusion.
Everybody
Which one?
collectively, give me a bluff roll.
Oh, I should be all right. Okay.
How you feel about that, Tim?
I have a 20.
21.
25.
I got an 8. I rolled a 1.
Well, lucky for you, there's no critical fail on skill checks.
Thank you, Dorian.
Glad I got that out of my system. It's always this one. This dice gets thrown.
All right, so got a 10.
I got a 10.
You got an 8. What did Arcane get?
I got a 20.
20. And
25.
25. And Wilhelm.
21.
21. Divided by 5.
I love the beautiful vocals here. I come here for the music.
Audiomancing at its finest. Listeners, that's what your Patreon dollars pay for.
mostly. If you're familiar with the language local, what he's thinking about is basically it's a song called "Get Low" by the Yin Yang Twins, translated.
Well, since
Mama, let me whisper in your ear and tell you all the things that I know you want to hear.
so, That was a reasonably good collective bluff roll. What that did was it didn't let him know exactly whether you were telling the truth. Because if it was bad, it would have been like, oh, okay, they clearly did something with it. But it was good enough that he's sort of, Remy is sort of backing off for now. He's like, all right, I guess I'll ask other people questions.
Yeah, other people probably know.
Yeah.
It's not like
Yeah,
we
go-
have
go check
anything
your
else
higher
to do
learning.
Right now.
Yeah, you go ask your mama.
Yeah, Remy, go work on your higher learning for the rest of the day. It's good reference.
Okay, Remy, so long to you. And by the way, before you leave, sir, point us in the direction of the noble who's in charge of dispensing gold pieces for wet work.
The noble. the noble.
Wow, that is
The noble.
really two of them. Okay.
We've got some services we'd like to provide, but
I feel
you
like
know.
you're making dick fucking sounds. I don't understand.
No, the noble.
I'm not-
All right. Oh, yeah, of course. That's who I went to. You want to go just past the market, and you will see a large tent with some scary-looking guys in front of it. Just tell them that you're there to see the noble, the new noble in charge of coin.
Yeah.
All right. Let me just put my dick
We're
on.
off to see the noble in charge of the coins.
You get there, and you just pass the marketplace where people are arguing and haggling and bartering. But just past there's like a large, like big tent, and there are people who are dressed in sort of like hodgepodge armor with like a noble symbol tacked on. Like, oh, by the way, you work for a noble now. Whatever, get out. And
Sort of like Cletus and Enos from Dukes of Hazzard.
yeah, except these people look oddly
exactly what I
capable
was
in a
thinking.
way that is kind of unsettling. They don't look like bumbling guards. They look like cool reef. They look around like
Like they smoke reefer? Is that what
no. Well, they look around like it seems like a reflex. They sort of look around to make sure no one's watching.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
These guys seem like this is a good idea.
They seem on the up and up to me.
So you approach them.
Sure.
They
the fuck
instantly recognize you. They're like, the Odd Company. Yeah, you're good. Go on in.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. So we look around for the noble.
He's hard to miss.
Yeah. Who do we see?
You smell the food as you go in the tent. Roast chicken, roast vegetables.
I think I know who it is.
And you see a very, very large throne with a very, very large
Wait,
man.
on the count of three.
Listeners, you may remember Barsool. Or is it Darsool?
It's Barstool.
Barsool. The underworld criminal mastermind.
Ben with the flies.
I see, Barsool, I see you finally ascended to a position of respectability in Red Point.
What you see is a man who is he's like 450 pounds, but he wears it poorly. So he somehow seems bigger. He's sort of draped over this very, very sturdy sort of throne, dressed in like this really gaudy, like noble finery that was clearly sewn together to make from other smaller shirts and pants. And he says,
It's like a leather faith of shirts.
He took the entirety of Duke Marigold's wardrobe to make himself one garment.
Is he a big fat person?
he says,
Hello, guys. It's been a while.
You're looking great.
I need a slightly older child. By the way, you are all like geriatric to me. Like, anyone over the age of 12 is just ancient.
Oh, well, I'm not that old.
He says, this is delicious. Bring me 12 more of these.
Oh, man. That was...
Chicken wings.
Yeah. I'd like to roll to check Beatus.
I'm on keto.
Barsul, congratulations, I say to you, on your ascension to power. And as bursar, chief of the purse strings here in Red Point, we have some services to offer you if the price is right. We understand there's some kobolds on the outskirts of town causing trouble.
Yeah, due to my help with the whole Brunmeyer fiasco, Duke Marigold bumped up my status before he croaked.
Excuse me, sir. Can I offer you one of my wet naps that I just happen to have right here in my jacket? You look a bit greasy.
wet
That wet nap wouldn't begin to cover.
It immediately is destroyed
Yeah,
after touching the side.
he puts on his face, it looks like he cut himself shaving.
He says, Coin boy, get out here.
He's talking to you. He's talking to you.
I do not appreciate discrimination against my people.
You see a young man who's 20, rail thin.
Oh, he's ancient.
Oh, you meant coin boy.
He comes
Coin
out
boy.
and he says,
I'm a noble.
They've allotted
That's also your
for
noble
this
voice?
400 gold
A piece or total?
a piece.
Ooh.
This is assuming that you come back alive, but I know that you will.
Yeah, well,
Ooh, I can get one of
do
those
we-
Pathfinder PlayStation 2s.
Does that seem like a reasonable amount of gold for this task?
Yeah, it's
For
just,
something like this?
It's just some
let's take
filthy
it.
kobold.
All right.
Yeah. Well,
You've got yourself
I'm
a.
sorry, I mean noble kobold.
yeah.
We've got you've got yourself a deal there. Coin boy,
Shake on it.
tell Barsul.
Go ahead, touch him.
Coin boy, shake Barsul's hand and tell him that he's got a deal.
You have a deal.
Man, his hands all lubed now from grease.
So, which direction did you last see these kobolds? They were out by the magic bubble, I assume.
One of his minions speaks up. He goes, "Yeah, they're out by the bubble. There's a trade route that the bubble is getting dangerously close to. If it envelops it, we're gonna start to have problems. And so the merchants have been taking a detour, and the kobolds have been using that to their advantage.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
That is far to the. That's about from here and this point in Red Point. That's about 8 miles. 8 miles east of here.
I say we take an 8-mile hike to the detour of the trade route.
I'm just going to throw this out here. Boy, if you don't like it, throw it right back in my face. I know I'm new to the Odd Company. Now, listen, this is a mobile moving bubble. I say we go over to the library, we pull out one of those moving ladders, we pull it up there, we set up shop, free bubble rides. You climb to the top, you slide down, it'd be great for the kids. Maybe have a mobile food truck. Who knows? It's an idea I just thought of. What do you think about
I'm in
it?
favor. As Speaker of the Child Kingdom, I say aye.
Look at it, the kids, we got a whole kingdom of people that'll come and see it.
Or we could I'd rather just murder kobold.
All right, let's go do some murdering, fine.
All right, so you start your journey.
Do we still got that? We still got that gaudy cart, right?
Yeah.
Remember we had this gaudy cart.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can just take our cart.
All right, so
like a horse-drawn cart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember this thing.
Yeah, it was. We have this gaudy. Yeah, well, you thought that he
I was
the one
drinking a
taking
lot that
faces.
season.
Yeah.
so You
Beautiful day out here, wouldn't you say, boys?
Birds are
This
singing.
place is
the
filthy
cows
with
are mooing.
cows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, since they outlawed all chickens and
Lovely day.
roosters, it's,
your cart has been modified since then.
Oh, really? With spinner rims?
It has 3 levers to open it.
so you have suicide doors?
You 3 know which of the levers to pull in which order. Anybody who doesn't know that is in for a terrible surprise.
Hey, Big Sleeves, why don't you get the door?
Interesting. My first test is part of the game.
I'm
All
just
right.
kidding.
Initiation is initiation.
We were just going to jump you in. Whoa, no, don't touch the levers.
Because it's security put on by none other than by now a goblin known as Trapmaster Furs.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Everyone's gotten a
He's now
promotion.
the exhibit of the goblin world. What's up, dog? I heard you like levers, so I put levers on your lever.
Check this out, dog. Fucking death spikes on every door.
And a cotton candy machine in the trunk.
I don't want to be that guy, but we're not going to be able to keep
I
this
got
with the taxes
suicide
on it.
doors on this thing, and he slaps it, and nooses come down.
Check out this. It's a flat screen that you crank like this, and it shows hand-drawn pornography. How you like that?
Oh, a porn scroll.
But yes, you have your cart and you make your way east.
Well, once we get outside the city limits, Arcane wants to stop the cart and go, hold on. And I'll go, Obi! And then out from, like, the woods comes this big fucking cloaked figure. Just comes out like... And he's 7 foot tall if he's an inch. Just this big fucking thing. And he's like...
You can't touch that.
Oh my God, it's the Undertaker.
So,
I'm like, there's Obi. Oh, short for Old Bay. Obi!
Do you want him to get in with you?
Yeah. I
Okay.
want him to pull the cart.
This is the reanimated Elder Brandmeyer.
Yeah, shit, don't tell him.
Oh, okay. What are we calling him? Obi?
Obi.
Don't I work for this guy? Wait, that guy looks semi-familiar. Nah, I'll turn the other eye. I don't like to question new friends.
it's just a sex Frankenstein.
As it's getting a little darker, the bubble becomes very, very noticeable in the distance because it glows a bright goldish sort of light, and it's like a beacon in the night as you go your way further and further east. I would like the child to give me a perception roll.
Oh, if we could all just see through the eyes of a child.
On your eyeball. Look, if you look on your cheek. Okay, never mind. You go.
That's gonna be a 4.
Okay, so you're making your way further east.
He's playing with his fidget spinner.
Yeah.
Watching Fortnite streams on
Yeah.
a little stone
On
tablet.
a scrying. You're watching Let's Play.
We're Apex Legends now, you
Just
fucking casual.
He's doing like a little flip book with it, so it's like some fucking stick figure doing the floss dance like this.
Yes.
You as it gets toward night, you get closer and closer to the bubble, and where the road meets the bubble close, you see a raging river, an overturned wagon, and a bunch of dead kobolds and dead merchants. The kobolds appear to be... They look like Swiss cheese. They look like they've been riddled with holes. Most of the cargo of the wagon has spilled over and has spilled into the river, and you see debris and like goods and like some vegetable myriad things just sort of going down the current of the river. Does anyone here speak Draconic?
Draconic?
No. I can honestly tell you no one else.
I speak Common and Infernal.
Common,
They-
celestial, infernal, abyssal, elf, orc, and giant.
They habla español, kobold.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. You know what? I can actually... use one of my new spells here if we're trying to get some informazione. You know what? I have a new level 3 spell called Blood Biography. Now, with that, I can pretty much just learn the specifics to a specific set of questions about a creature, so as long as you have access to at least one drop of its blood, independently of language, I can just know that shit, which is who are you, what are you, how was your blood shed, and when was your blood shed?
Does the creature have to be alive or no?
No, I just need some fucking blood.
Okay. Well, there's plenty of it.
Nifty. I guess I'm just gonna fucking just get weird with some. I'm just gonna get weird with some fucking blood over here.
All right. So, are you going to do that on the dead merchants or the dead kobolds?
I want to say dead merchants, or actually no, the dead kobolds. The dead kobolds, right? That would make more sense.
Kobolds,
yeah, dead kobolds.
Okay.
They were killed by kobolds.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
time stops, and you see yourself standing in the middle of where you are, except it's light outside.
I'm gonna go, enhance.
Yes. And you see this wagon come up that just gets swarmed with all of these kobolds, and you hear something go, yeah, well, there, kobolds. He's like, God damn it, this stupid bubble, we had to take this detour. Try him now. Like, really? Yeah, try him now. And you see a bunch of merchants come out, and they have firearms, and they just start pelting all these kobolds with firearms, and they're dropping. But there's so many of them that they immediately begin to swarm the merchants, and eventually they take them all down. Then one of them, who looks like a sort of leader, reaches into the wagon and raises a rifle, and all the kobolds go, "Ah!" and they all pour into the wagon, and they all get firearms, and they leave.
They're all yelling, "States' rights!"
Oh, God.
And that is where we'll leave this time.
What an incredibly exciting first episode of the new season of Laugh-Finder. What are we to make of this amazing, magical bubble that seems to be expanding in such a menacing way toward Red Point? What about these kobolds who've now touched the monolith and become aware of how to use firearms? Things are getting mighty dangerous and mighty exciting. For the Odd Company, find out what happens on the next exciting episode of Laugh-Finder!
All right, guys. Well, this episode comes out. This is March 5th.
Oh, nice.
Fuck.
Yeah, and
Exciting.
you know what comes out this weekend is Captain Marvel.
Oh, well, I know what I'll be doing this week.
Yeah,
That's,
so we're going to see Captain Marvel. We also have. Do you have any? What murder mysteries do we got? Do you know?
We don't. I don't think we have any in March.
Oh,
I don't think
okay.
I think we're murder mystery less. But I
What
have
about
a show.
the end of the month, the 27th?
No. You have a show.
Oh, I do.
We're both doing the Ellicott City Comedy
Nice.
Festival. You're doing the 30th.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the 29th, and we'll be headlining both two different shows. So come down to Old Ellicott City if you're in the Maryland
Yeah,
area.
before
you
it
can
washes
see-
away.
Still there?
Yeah.
Come to the lost city of Ellicott.
It's during the low tide season, so get in there before it all washes away again.
Brian, you got anything?
Well, shit. As always, you can check out Driven to Succeed on Amazon Prime. You can check out fucking.
Meanwhile,
Who's
the Skullbase.
Meanwhile, the Skullbase. That is on the internet, wherever the fuck podcasts are. You can also check out Board the USA. I think it's playing at a film festival somewhere. I will not be at the Ellicott City Comedy Festival. I think I'm at the Church of Satire on the 30th,
Nice.
and then at Jesus Christ, the Cellar Door on the 31st.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
What do you got? You got anything, Aaron?
There's probably some kind of fucking pledge drive happening at the radio station. I don't know.
Oh God!
Hey, if I could make a plug for Aaron,
Yeah.
I spent a good 4 hours of my workday listening to Out of the Blocks.
Thanks,
and
dude.
Out of the Blocks, let me tell you, is a 10 out of 10. You guys should go check
I
it out.
really enjoy it.
Oh,
also,
much obliged.
actually.
It's fucking really, really good. You're not going to laugh.
Not as many laughs
There's no
as this
dick
podcast.
jokes. But if you want to hear what like the real streets of Baltimore or Indian reservations or all types of places that
What if I'm a
Aaron
monster?
goes,
Not China.
it's a really good audio experience, and I got really into it today. And Aaron does a fucking phenomenal job. So
Thanks,
check it
man.
out.
That's awesome, man.
Appreciate the kind words.
Absolutely.
What do you got, Dorian?
But my
this comes
question
out on the
is,
5th?
are you a supporter of public radio?
On
Because
the-
listeners just like you keep our station running. It's time to take that plunge. Put your money where your mouth is and pledge your support to the radio that you depend on every day.
All right, I
like
get
you've
it.
done
I'll
that
buy.
I'll buy your Girl
There's a
Scout
tote
cookie.
bag or a coffee mug in there for you.
Whatever. Give me this weird coupon book that I'll never use.
I'm going to be on the 8th and 9th. I'm going to be at Bechtel Test Fest.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
What's
Yes. It is a comedy festival for women and gender nonconforming people. It'll be my first out of Maryland comedy festival
Nice.
that I've ever been to.
It's about time.
Yeah. I was like, I really should do this.
Where is it?
It is in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Oh, nice.
Born and
Does
raised.
Allison Bechtel know she has a convention named after her? Will she be there?
That sounds like a place of
I don't know,
acceptance
she
that'll
might.
really be good.
Ben, you got any shows coming up?
Nope, open micing around Baltimore.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Eric, what do you got?
March 10th, we'll be doing Who's Roll at the Wind-Up Space. And
All right.
because I can hear Bob Rose's vein about to pop in his forehead, I should also mention, now that we're a podcast, we're hosted on the Thundergrunt Network.
Oh, we used to be Thundergrunt.
Yeah, we used to, yeah.
Good.
That's awesome. And also, listeners, I want to plug, go to laughfinderpod.com where you can find links to our Teespring account. Get yourself a T-shirt. And
Yeah, there's going to be some hot designs coming up soon.
Oh, yeah.
Eric Woodworth has some things that he's uploading very shortly. Get your fucking dicks hard.
Get your
okay?
Sphincter Club shirt.
I'm very afraid.
And you can also find links to our Patreon account where we just everything that we did at KatsuCon is going to be up on going to be part of this bonus content and everything. And you can hear probably by now you'll be able to hear a review for Alita Battle Angel.
Yep, you'll be hearing that. That's we're going to see that this
when
weekend.
we all go and watch movies on shrooms and then do reviews.
Wait, you do that?
Yeah.
That's a real plan.
Yeah.
Do you want to go?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Double yes.
You're in. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.